Was good, y'all? Rich Sosa in the building, and today, man, I am finally back from my little vacation. So I'm gonna be back bringing y'all these videos every single day. The past weekend, I actually had them videos scheduled, so I appreciate y'all to those who showed up and showed out. But man, today I got a very special build in store for y'all. A Ben Simmons pass first point, y'all. I'm telling you, with this build, we're gonna be able to get contact dunks, also gonna be able to get pro dribble moves, and this is coming to y'all on 2K22 current gen, man. So again, I just want to say thank God for giving me this opportunity to be able to bring this to y'all, but also as well as having me in your day as well as you in mine. So again, man, y'all already know what y'all need to do. Be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. Anybody looking to join the RGF family, man, go ahead and turn on post notifications. But let's go ahead and get 50 likes on this video. I know that we can do it. Y'all have been really going crazy and showing me love when it comes to 2K22. So most definitely, I'm going to be bringing y'all that fire content. So let's go ahead and get right into it. The first thing that y'all want to go ahead and do is put this build under, of course, the point guard position. Now, I know Ben Simmons is technically a small forward, but when it comes down to this build, I'm telling you, it's really going to be able to replicate him, y'all. And also a couple of other things that y'all should keep in mind. With this build, you're actually going to be able to shoot threes, mid-range, anything on the floor when it comes down to it, especially with how they made shooting easier when it comes down to this year. Now, when it comes down to the pie chart, you actually have a couple different options to make this build out of to get the same exact name. Now, if you go ahead and look through a couple of these pie charts, remember, I said that you're going to be able to get two things: pro dribble moves and contact dunks. So that's why I say, look at the different pie charts that have that available. You have to get over an 80 ball handle and then around an 85 to 86 driving dunk in order to unlock all of them. Again, it's really going to be based off of your own preference. Even this defensive one is pretty good, but the shooting for it is not going to be my style. But I guess you can say, if you're trying to make an exact Ben Simmons build that isn't going to be able to shoot, I would go with the defensive and the blue. But for me, I want to make this build more of an all-around build to where I'm going to be effective in any game mode. So that's why I'm going to go ahead and pick the one right here, split right down the middle with the finishing as well as the shooting. Now, when it comes down to the physical profile, this is going to be a big key when it comes down to the build. So you can go ahead and pick the very first one, or you can pick the fourth one. For me, I'm going to say and be real. If you want the absolute best physical profile, go ahead and pick the one with the 82 speed, 81 excel, and 83 vertical, because you're barely taking any of a hit when it comes down to the speed and acceleration. And then we're going to be able to get a huge boost when it comes down to our vertical. Now, let's go ahead and get into the finishing side of things. So we're going to go ahead and max out 3 different categories right here. First, the driving layup, the driving dunk, and then the post hook. That's going to give us 15 badges. Really solid. Now, let's go ahead and get into the shooting. Mid-range and the three-pointer, both going to be maxed out. Go ahead and put that post fade all the way maxed out to an 87. And then from here, go ahead and put that free throw to a 61. And that's going to give us 18 shooting badges. I love how we're making this build so far. It looks really nice. And now when it comes down to the playmaking side of things, ball handle is already going to be over an 80 at 81. Pass accuracy 78 and a 35 post control. Now, the badge count on this is spread out pretty well in my opinion. Perimeter defense, we're maxing that out. Lateral quickness as well as the steal. Then from here, we're going to go ahead and max out that defensive rebound. Now, I would say maxing out your steal is going to be much better on this build than maxing out your block. As you can see, your block is only going to be able to go in the 50s, but with that steal being in the 81 range, it's going to be very powerful. Now, 6 badges only on the defensive side. I understand that. You can make your own adjustments to this build when it comes down to it, but how we have this offensive set up is going to be very good. Now, body shape, going to be based off your own preference, but I'm going to say that Burley is really going to take up the most space on the floor, but you can also go with the Vaughn. I feel like that's going to be the second one in place for me. Now, let's go ahead and check out this height. So, with this height, you have to be very careful with what you are picking. Yes, we're going to be able to get pro dribble moves on this build, as well as still be able to get those contact dunks. So if we go at 6'5" or 6'6", that is going to be 2 very good heights. But if you go at 6'6", you're not going to be able to get the pro dribble moves that we want. So I'm going to go with 6'5", and then when it comes down to the weight, normally I'm going to go ahead and just say this: go with the lowest possible. Now, of course, you can always make your own adjustments to how you like the stats when it comes to the weight, but I'm saying right now, if you end up going even smaller on this build, in my opinion, it's not going to be worth it, because then you're going to be able to not unlock certain attributes how we had them set up, as well as when it comes down to the animations, whether it be for the playmaking side of things or even the finishing. Now remember, you're always welcome to make your own adjustments to this build, especially if you don't agree with something that I'm showing y'all. But I'm telling you, I'm only going to lead y'all in the right direction. I make sure that I go back and forth with trying to find the best possible setup, and then on top of all that, I even go back to last year's videos to make sure that the build that I bring out is as good, and if not, even better than what I've shown y'all in the past. Now, go with the lowest weight or even a couple ticks up. From there, the wingspan is going to be maxed out at 86.0. We have a 77 ball handle, 77 three-pointer. Both of these at 99 overall are going to be 81, y'all. So that's really solid. Then, at 99 overall, we're going to be able to get that 85 driving dunk, unlocking the contact animations, y'all. So I'm telling you, even the defense is looking really solid. At 99, you're going to be in the 80s when it comes down to your perimeter defense. And if you add boosts, all of these stats on the defensive side are pretty much going to be in the mid-80s. Now, these takeovers, all of the best offensive takeovers for a guard: slashing, playmaking to break the ankles, shot creating to also break the ankles, and then we get the sharp shooting. I'm going to go with that one to make it more cheesy. And as y'all can see, we have made the pass first point, y'all. Now, I really like the comparison of LaMelo Ball, but again, this is more like of a Ben Simmons build because of the contact dunks and what we're able to do with it. If it were not for the contact dunks, I would definitely agree and say that LaMelo Ball is going to be the best comparison for this build. However, he's not catching bodies out there in the NBA like Ben Simmons. So when it comes down to this build, remember, we're also going to be getting a +4 to our main attributes as well as to our physicals, and then you include the gym rat badge. Gonna be very nice, y'all. Now, the setup that I would go with for the defensive is going to be gold intimidator as well as clamps, but you can go ahead and put these badges on silver to go ahead and add one more, and you could go ahead and put on menace, or you could really go ahead and put on chase down artist. Interceptor's another really good one. It's really going to come down based off of your own preference, but for me, I really feel like gold intimidator and gold clamps are going to be good enough, especially if you're running this build at the 1. Now, if you were going to go ahead and change one little thing about this build when it comes down to the setup, go ahead and put down your clamps to silver, and one badge that you can put on instead of that is going to be chase down artist, just to get those blocks at a higher rate and successful rate. Now, when it comes down to the playmaking, we got to be very specific when it comes down to these badges. I'm going to go with gold tight handles, quick first step, as well as handles for days to start it off. Now, I'm not too sure how quick chain is going to be working or hyperdrive, so it's really going to be based off of your own preference to put one of these badges on. I'm going to go with gold quick chain, and then from there I'm going to go with silver tight handles as well as hyperdrive. That's another setup you can also go with. It's really just going to come down to your comfort level, and also triple threat juke is going to be another really good badge that you can consider. So when it comes down to the finishing side of things, a lot of badges we have to work with, but I'm going to go with posterizer on Hall of Fame first, and then from there, slithery finisher is one that I would normally run when it comes down to my main build. From here, we have 7 remaining badges. So I'm going to go with limitless takeoff. I already know that that is definitely going to be one of the most favored finishing badges this year. And then from here, fast twitch is going to be put on silver, and I'm going to put on bronze lob city finisher just so I can get those alley-oop animations. For the rest of the badge count, really, you can change any of these up. You can take some of them off as well if you want to, but I'm just saying that this is easily going to be the most balanced setup that you can go with. Now, let's go ahead and get into the shooting, y'all. 18 badges to work with, so again, it's not going to be too hard to set this part up. I'm going to go with the most obvious badge first. That's going to be Hot Zone Hunter on Hall of Fame, and then I'm going to go ahead and put on Bronze Deadeye. That definitely puts a huge help on this build, especially if you know what it does. It really puts a bubble around your player when defenders are closing out, so it's not going to be able to affect your shot. The contest is not going to be there. It's really a weird badge because in the past it was not like that. I know for the players who know about the secret invisible bubble around your player when you're shooting, especially with the Deadeye badge on, I've heard people talk about it myself, so I know that it's for sure a real thing, and it does not allow certain opponents to close out. However, Silver Corner Specialist is going to be another really good one. Limitless Spot Up and then Green Machine are both going to be on Hall of Fame. From here, you could really go with any last badge. Mismatch expert is going to be a really good one. But then again, you could go ahead and put this on Hall of Fame if you drop down your corner specialist. And that's the final badge setup that I would go with. 15, 18, 13, and 6. Thank y'all so much to everybody who made it to the end. I really appreciate y'all, and I mean that with all of my heart. I got another video dropping for y'all later today. So, man, y'all already know what y'all need to do. Be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. Anybody looking to join the RGF family, man, go ahead and turn on post notifications, but also do not forget to hit that like button. Let's go ahead and get 50 big likes on this video. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Go ahead and share this video with your family and friends. And last but not least, y'all, thank God for this opportunity. Thank y'all for having me a part of y'all day as well as you and mine. I got y'all most definitely. Be sure to turn on post notifications, man. And with all that being said, I got one last thing to say. Rich out.